Hello and welcome back to Tiny's Beauty Box. I am Tanya and today I am here to fulfill a subscriber request. Her name is Dion Laura. I've been an avid watcher of her channel for probably over almost 20 years, so definitely over 15 years. Great channel. She started off with one name, left, came back, transitioned. She's found her calling. She's now licensed, certified makeup artist. She does venues. She's based out of Delaware, so check her out. She has a website. I'll try to remember to put that in the description box. But it's Dion Laura, which is DionLorah. So check her channel out. She has a membership. It's only $2.99 a month. I am a member of her Crazy Tone Nation, and she has graciously also followed me back. She's a subby of mine, and I put out a community post. I activated my community tab or whatever I did, and it asked whether what people would like to see on my channel, and she was one of the first to respond. And she said that she would like for me to do a look using a palette that I coveted in my heart, that I talked myself out of, that she bought and reimagined with some additional colors from that brand and made it her own. But I did talk myself out of it. I did find some dupes within my collection. However, I kind of desired the palette. And although she put her palette in her Mercari store, she also has a Mercari store, she kind of mixed it between her bronze palette and this particular palette, so it wasn't the same color story. And although it was very beautiful, it was not the same color story. So I opted not to purchase it, but I did finally give in and find my palette on Mercari, different seller, however. And I did not know that this palette was limited edition because I originally went to the brand site around Christmas time to get one of those deep discounts. And lo and behold, it was not a permanent palette. So I felt my heart flutter, and I said, well, dang, I know it got to be on eBay. I found maybe 2 of those palettes on eBay, and they were astronomical. I'm like, I can't do that. And then I went to Mercari. Like I said, she had it in her store, but it got she reimagined it. So I looked elsewhere, and I found the palette at half the price of its original selling point, in very good condition. And so I have that. And what she suggested that I do is a look based on this particular palette, which is the Natashadenona Bloom palette. I love the packaging. That's one of the reasons why I bought it, because I love the packaging, which is not a great reason to buy a palette. However, the formula is great. Natashadenona is a great brand. And this is the color story. Now, it looks used because I've used it. What had happened is that I had already filmed this video, set it to upload, set it to post for today, which is January 16th at 8 a.m., which is the typical time I normally post videos. And when I got up and I went to bed, didn't think nothing of it. Got up, opened up the laptop, and lo and behold, it did not upload. But then it said resume upload. So I clicked that. It went to my file folder, Explorer. I clicked the file, clicked open, and then it said that basically there was no content. No, you don't say. So I spent about 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get this content re-uploaded, and then I just had to admit defeat in that respect and permanently delete the video from YouTube for uploading. And then I sat back and I said, this is some BS. I don't know what's going on with this laptop. It's brand new. It's from my job. So it's brand spanking new. I just got it right before Christmas, for our Christmas break, holiday, winter break. And I don't know why it's giving me such a flux. However, I am back at it today to try to redo this video. So that is my intention, to redo this video to fulfill the request. She also takes member requests. If you become a member of her official member of her Crazy Tone Nation by becoming a paid member, you can make requests. And she writes them down, and she makes sure that anyone that is a paid member that has made a request, that she tries to fulfill that earnestly. So I don't have a membership, but I'm trying to grow my channel in whatever way it grows. And the question was asked, and I also want to be as dedicated, diligent, and earnest in fulfilling subscriber requests. So here I am. I'm going to try this again. Now, since I've done this already, it's no longer also like a first impressions to some of the products I'm going to use. Definitely the Bloom palette. No longer the oohs and the ahs, because I've used it. However, what's going to happen is that things that did not work, I'm probably not going to use in this video, but I will mention. And I've swapped some things out to make it a better video. So maybe in that respect, the universe said, hey, you can do better than that, and made it so that I would have to redo this video. So I will let you know things that I swapped out in this video that I used in the previous video, that I decided to use something different or better. Okay, so let's turn on all these lovely little lights I got going on here, and we're gonna get started. And also, I hope to do a better job at keeping this video under definitely an hour. That video was like 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I was really ticked off that it did not load, but you know, what can you do? Technology. But last time I forgot to do this part in the beginning, and I had some I had some really good banter in that video. I did, and this sucker is moving around this camera. I'm using my camera, my phone, instead of my laptop, because again, now all of a sudden it doesn't want to record video again. So I don't know what's going on with my word, but 2026 shall not defeat me. So last time I forgot and did this toward the end, so we're going to do this in the beginning. We're going to use the Fenty lip mask pudding, or what the hell is it? Plush pudding. The plush pudding. This is a lip mask, intensive recovery lip mask. The flavor or scent is Kalahari melon. This is the top, and it looks like this. It has one of those mechanisms where if you have a moisturizer, it has a little hole you press down on. But this one you advance from the bottom by turning the dial. And then the product comes up through the hole with the turn of the dial. Don't turn it too much, you'll get too much product. Again, typically you'll find this format in a moisturizer. You would press down on the top and the product would exude from the protrude. It will come up through the hole. You'll swipe it off, and that keeps the product fresh and keeps your hand out of it and contaminating all that. But that's the lip mask, and it is a nice consistency. It is thick. It puts me in the vein or mindset of, it's definitely a thicker balm, almost Vaseline. Like, don't like Vaseline, but it's not the same as Vaseline. And I'm gonna put that on the lip to moisturize and prep while I am doing the makeup. I thought it had a shimmer in it. It does not. It does not. It's not sticky or anything like that. It has a nice scent. Feels good. I wouldn't. It says it's a mask. I think you can get away with it, wearing it throughout the day. It will. It had a nice shine. If you put it more on, you'll get a shinier sheen. But I didn't put on that much. And the more you talk or whatever, manipulate your lips, it seems to dull down and dissipate. But it feels good on the lips, so there you go. Now, next thing. Take your glasses off so you can't see a damn thing. My little fan And since I've got the little camera, I might be able to show it to you. My little fan situation, I would like a fan with a light. It has a like a little ring light around it, and it has a spotlight, and it has a fan in the middle. It's for camping, but I'm using it to keep myself cool because, you know, I'm 52 and I'm always hot or whatever. And also as additional lighting to give some more brightness to this side of my face, which is my right side of the face. So the very first thing we're going to do is that's charging right now. So let that charge up a little bit more before I use it. So we're going to move into face primer. So I'll let you know what I didn't use or what was switched out. This I did use in that other video. This is the Benefit Professional. This is their hydrating version of that. Everybody knows the regular Professional is more of an aqua color, minty green packaging. So this is the hydrating, and she's in like a little scuba gear. And it's a decent primer. Benefit is basically more known for their blushes and brows, blushes, and mascaras. So yeah, it's definitely a different feel. I hate that this camera is moving. I don't want it to rock, but it's doing that. It has a different feel than the regular Professional. The regular Professional has a different texture, definitely, than this. This definitely feels more hydrating upon initial application of the face, but it kind of still has that dry down feel of the regular Professional. Yeah. It has a nice scent to it as well. I can't remember if the regular Professional is scented or not. Next, we're going to get my life together here. I'm thinking. I'm kind of discombobulated a little bit by having to redo this because I really intended to have this up for her and others that might be interested in this color story today. But I might also just go ahead and post it today, but later in the evening. If not, tomorrow should be Saturday at 8 a.m. But we'll see how long it takes for it to actually upload, which was taking an inordinate amount of time to upload the original video. So I ended up going to bed. Shouldn't have did that. I should have stayed on it because, man, that sucker was corrupted. It did not go. And I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, I had some really cute banter in there. I know some of the things I said, but it wouldn't feel authentic to repeat unless it comes back up because of whatever product I'm using that brings that back to the forefront. However, let's move forward. We're gonna finally use, and you can know about this, maybe not, but I went down the Lancome rabbit hole, and this is one of the items that I purchased. There is a Tint Idole Ultra Wear foundation from Lancome that people typically love, but it's more for a matte finish. I have normal to dry skin, leans more normal, dry sometimes, which is why I use the hydrating primer. But this is the Care and Glow version. Can you see that? It's all shiny. I don't know. That ring light is not making things great. This is in shade 505N. Now, what had happened was I ordered this foundation in November of last year, 2025. And when I got it, that is what the expiration date said. Can you see that? Okay. Remember, I ordered it like mid-November of 2025. So when I got it and saw that, I was a bit miffed. So I contacted them and let them know I was miffed, and they sent out a replacement. And I said, cool beans. So they sent out the replacement, and guess what the replacement was? And this was I got this in the beginning of December. So I got this one in the, well, not this exact one, but I don't know. But one in the mid of December, mid-November with this expiration date. And then the replacement, after I let them know what the problem was, the replacement came the beginning of December. But I got the same expiration date, different box. So I was totally ticked off. I have a video that is a little rant about that, and it's called Lancome FAFO, F around and find out, something to that effect, and I'll try to link that somewhere. But yeah, so you'll see what the problem was. It's a great brand. It's like, but the quality control and their customer service. Whew, Lord. But you'll see in that video if I link it. But this is we're going to go ahead and finally use this. And I attribute the fact that it has a expiration date. Ooh, goodness, what's in my eye? I got something in my eye. Ooh, excuse me. Pause for the cause. Okay. I'm going to attribute the expiration to the fact that this has an SPF of 27, which is great. But that is considered an active ingredient. So maybe that's what's expired. I'm going to hope that's what expired. I didn't have any reaction after I used it the first time, so that was great. We're going to continue to use our LYS brushes. I showed in my last video, I think that was the, what was that? The Charlotte Tilbury full face. So we're going to utilize the LYS brushes that are dazzlingly beautiful. And probably still on sale on the LYS site. I cleaned off. I did use it. You can see there. But I did clean it off. And this, again, is 505N. And, again, I like to apply my foundation to the brush itself. Now, yes, that was 3 whole pumps. I think I have a big face and need this product. Probably don't. But that's what I tell myself. And I did it a freaking again. Oh my God. I always mean to put on my, oh goodness, my concealer first. That's typically what I do, but apparently not. Apparently now in 2026, I put my foundation on first. And I know that's the way people typically do it, but I like to put the the concealer under the eye, so that I don't have to I just blend that in with the foundation when I go over it to give it a more seamless transition in color versus putting all that lighter. It's not going to be that much lighter than my foundation. That's not how I do things, but to me, I like it better. But apparently I don't, because I have transitioned to applying my foundation first. So that's that. It has a slight scent, and I'm not sure if the scent is coming from that primer or what. But that's neither here nor there. Now, I'm going to try to find the concealer that I've used. This little case that I'm using to put all my little stuff in, that I told you about from the Dollar Tree, is overrun with stuff. But it is going to be the same concealer that I used in the first video. If I can get it out of here. Did I take it out of here? I hope not, because I surely... Oh, there it is. It's from the Lip Bar. I call it LYS. The Lip Bar. Haven't heard about that in a minute. They still are a great brand based out of Detroit, Michigan, where I live. And this is the Quick Conceal Caffeine Concealer. I have it in number 5 Mocha. I'm not sure if they still have this concealer. I haven't been on their site in a while. They have a great liquid lipstick formula, and I typically don't like liquid lipsticks because they they feel very dry and tight on the lip for me, but theirs is superb. So try them out. We're going to put this under the eye in my little fake triangle of light. So one side for that, and then use the other side for the other eye without getting additional product on the wand. And if you saw that Charlotte Tilbury video, you'll know that I used Cover FX under the eye. And boy, oh, no, was it? No. Yeah, I think I used Cover FX. Did I? Well, one of them videos, I used Cover FX under the eye, and oh my god, I let it sit too long because typically I put it on and I, blend it in. But now I've started to let it sit there a little bit so I can adhere and give them a little bit more coverage there. But I let that sucker sit too long, and it did not want to move. So now I'm trying to, whatever I'm using, go in and let it sit just a minute, or not a minute, but let it sit as long as I think I need to let it sit before it actually sets down and doesn't want to blend out any. I'm using that LYS little triangular brush that I found that was very good for the concealer blending out. And it is very flexible, so it's moving along the skin. It's not tugging or pulling, but it's definitely blending out. And I can get into the crevices with those little planks there. So, again, like in that previous video, that is now defunct. That became a corrective file. My eye is starting to water. Oh, the things you have to deal with when you're trying to do makeup. Okay, so we did that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is a powder under the eye. And I brought out the Tarte, what is this? The Tarte Shape Tape Setting Powder Translucent Tan Deep. Got this in a BoxyCharm or Ipsy, whatever the heck the middle tier is called now. This is the mechanism. It has like a little puff in it. It does have a mirror there. The puff, and this is a loose powder. I'm not typically a loose powder fan, but this is a loose powder, and it has a mesh application delivery system instead of the holes. So we're going to take the powder puff. I have my trusty handy dandy microfiber cloth on my lap. See how I got off all that excess powder? Oh my goodness. And we're just going to go ahead and press down. The only thing I think about sometimes with this particular powder is the little mesh is like bouncy, so it will let you dip, and it does dip down. But as the powder starts to dissipate, get less and less in the container, how am I supposed to get it out of there? So I might end up having to cut it to get into it. So we're going to go under the eye with this powder. And under the eye with this powder on the upper side. We're going to like go against the eye line in an angle. This is for a little bit of lifting, because it's lighter than the skin tone technically, so it gives you a little lift. And get up under the lash line to make sure that sets, especially because my eye has been watering. Okay, next we're going to take a fluffier brush, and this is the powder brush from Ipsy and Pantone from the Color of the Year from 2025, the Mocha Mousse. This is the, where the heck did it go? This is the Plush powder brush. So I'm going to use the same powder. It's kicking up powder, so it's getting in there. I'll knock off some of the excess. We're going to go over, not that it necessarily needs to be set, because it did set down very nicely on its own, the foundation that I used from Lancome. But I powder anyway, even though I have normal to dry. The dry is more normal than dry, but I still like more hydrating products. Around the center of the face, on the mouth, and bring it down. And on Dion's channel, she does lives every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah. And discussing people bringing down their foundation down their neck. I don't do that. She doesn't do that. And it's okay if you do that. I Well, we apparently don't. And the people are concerned about that line of the demarcation. I just go like right up under the chin area. That's about as far as I go, just so it'd be a little bit more seamless. So it's not like stopping right there. But then she made a good point that what about people that contour? That's definitely going to be light darker than the foundation that you're using. So you're going to have that line there anyway, and it's not going to match the neck. But I'm not big into contour personally, so I'm not too concerned with that. And that is the doorbell. Okay. Of course, yeah. I'm getting stuff, packages. Okay, so we're going to use the YC Collection, again, eye primer. I feel like I'm going out of order. Because I don't put I have an order, but I don't necessarily stick to it. It's more of a suggestion thing. I put stuff on as I remember to put stuff on. I used to be an avid eyeshadow before foundation person. That has since changed, and it may change back. But right now, I do complexion prior to eyeshadow. And yeah, I'm looking out the window to see. I think that was the mailman. Yes, I'm doing that. Okay. So, what we're going to do is what I should have did, because I thought about it after I did the eye primer, is my blush. Okay. So, I have from Alamar Cosmetics the Colorette Blush Trio. Definitely got this from Ipsy or BoxyCharm. And this is in the Dark Rich. It's Deserted, Oasis, and Candela. And these are the colors. I figured this would be a great color story to go with the Bloom palette. I will put this sucker on pause, however, the last time I did that, but that was on the laptop, but the last time I put it on pause, it stopped the video. And that was unfortunate. So I think what we're going to do in the same veins I did last time, we're going to take Candela. And this is from Ipsy Pantone again. This is the Cheek Chiseler brush. And we're going into that one. And this would be a great one to try to do that sunset. I think it was maybe 2 years ago, maybe 2023, 2022. People were doing that sunset blush trend. I'm not going to do it here. But, yeah, that was a big thing at, during the spring, summer time. Using, like me, a color gradient like this. And what I also do, I love blush. You can never have too much blush, I don't think. But I like to put it on the apples of my cheek. I don't know why, I just do. And then I kind of like bring it up into the hairline at an angle a little bit and soften it up. So that's one side. It's like the mailman is still sitting in front of my house. Maybe I wonder if he's waiting on me to come get it. Which would be weird. Which would be weird. So I'm doing the other side the same way. Same color. Same application. A little bit more on the cheek area. Yep. Loving it. And, yeah, I do apologize for all the movement. Now, what I could do is take this color in the middle and use that as more of a contouring situation, and then take this color as the lighter one and put it on top for like a highlight situation. But we're not gonna do that, but it's an option. Definitely an option. And I think that's good for that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into this eyeshadow palette. Again, it's the the Bloom palette from Natashadenona. And the brushes I'm going to use are my Alter Ego brushes. Now, I remember what I used for the look, and I'm not sure if that's going to stay the plan. What is going to stay the plan is I use a new product. So in addition to the eye primer, I also use a Lancome product. It's another Tint Idole product. It's a liquid eye blusher. And they tout these, it's a line, maybe 10 colors, and they tout them as liquid eyeshadows and blushes. Now, who's wearing this for a blush? Don't know. It's called Hot Lava. I believe it's Hot Lava is the color. It doesn't say on the Hot Lava 03. Can you see that? I can't tell because I can't see, but it does not say that on the product itself. So I guess you would have to keep the box if you want to know the color in order to know what you're doing. So, did I put this on before or after? Okay, I think I put this on before. This is the color. This is Hot Lava. And then you're supposed to be able to use it the flat side as a all over eyeshadow situation, where you use the side, thin side, as a liner. Again, who's doing that? I don't know, but that's how they are marketing the product. Oh my eye. So we're gonna take that, and it is very opaque from what I remember using it the other day. I'm gonna use that to get into the tip of it to get into the inner part of my eye lid. And I'm just going to use the one side per application. So I'm going to get that into the contour of the eye. It does blend down or set down pretty quickly, so keep that in mind, which is good, so you won't get that transfer. And then we're going to do the other side, get that into the in the corner. And I am not a big in the corner highlight person. I think it looks weird on me. I don't like the way it looks on me. I like the way it looks on other people, but not on me. And you want to make sure it's not patchy, but I can see how it could become patchy. Okay? So that's that. So we're using this as an additional base for the eyeshadow. Not that it needs it, because after using it, and of course it's a Natashadenona formula, it's great, you know? So we're going to, what brush did I use initially? Okay, so I'll know when that brush. All right, so we're gonna use the Alter Ego #2, and I got this off of Shop Pay. I think it was $10 for eight brushes or something like that. Great quality brushes. We're gonna go into Brick, which is the center shade there. That's where I started off with the last time. I don't know if I'm gonna end up with the same look, but that's where we're gonna start. The kick up is real, but the color payoff is wonderful. Okay, that little fan spotlight thing is almost done charging, which is weird. They sent me a cord that goes with it. I mean, it came with a cord, and when it looks as though you could have just charged it up by plugging it into the laptop. When I did that, it wouldn't start. It wouldn't light up to show that it was charging. So I'm using the laptop charger, and it started charging, but only when I tilted it up. If I have it sitting straight, like the fan facing me, it won't charge. But tilted up towards the ceiling, it charges, which is weird. Been a weird year. Weird things are happening. So again, you know where you place the brush, after you've dipped it into the color, that's when you're going to get the most intensity of color. Man, this sucker is shaking. I do apologize. That's the brick. I'll knock it off a little bit. And yeah. So you want to like put, if you want, try to match application for application, shape for shape, intensity for intensity per eye. So yeah. So some people like to stack the color, I'll call it, by placing the color on first and then blending it out. I'm more of a touch the lid, blend out person, which means that the color, like if I go here, as soon as I touch it from the shadow, I'm going to get intensity of shadow here, and I'm hoping that the brush sweeps it over to blend it out. And again, I can't see a thing because I don't have my glasses on, so I'm really hoping that this is looking fluid to you guys and gals. Okay. I think I need a little bit more on this side, a little higher, a little bit more intensity, sort of match my right eye. And I really wish my eye would stop water. It did not water as much in the previous video, but man, it's getting me now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this, and it's going to stop for whatever reason, and I am going to turn the fan portion on. And I'm going to turn the light on, and hopefully you'll be able to see that it gets a little brighter on that side. It has 3 levels and then a spotlight. Okay? I'm not sure if I showed that in a different video or the video that got corrupted or what. So next we're going to go into, after we get the kick up, so I'm going to show you the kick up. Can you see that? And I had like a funny little thing I said the last time I did that, but it doesn't seem very organic at this point. We're going to go into, where did I go? Okay, I think I went into Clover right here with the same brush. No, I went into it with the number 1 alter ego. We're going to go into Clover, get it on the tips and on the sides. Knock off the excess, and we're going to go right between where we put that Lancome liquid shadow and the brick right there. Not all the way over as we did the brick. Concentrating on the outer edge into the middle. Do that, and then just to give it a gradient of color. And I really hope, because I'm filming on my phone this time, that it loads up without getting corrupted, man, and uploads quicker than it did on that laptop. I don't know what's going on with this laptop. I took it to IT when I went back to work on the 13th. I have been off since the 23rd of last year. Yep. I worked remotely all of last week when we came back on the 5th, and I went back physically into the office on my physical in-office days on Tuesday. So I work 2 days remote each week, and Tuesday is an in-office day. Now this has gotten away from me because I was talking, and I went over further than I wanted, so now I gotta take this side and match that energy. Can you see the gradient in it? Or the transition there? Hopefully you can. And this little microfiber towel, I'm telling you, it's wonderful. It reminds me of the face eraser. Because look, it's not completely clean, it's kind of stained, but it got all that powder off of there. All that color, man. You can't beat that with a bat. Let's see. I didn't do this one, so let's see what this one does. My eye is watering like a bandit. A bash. Okay. So see, that's a little bit better. Whew. I'm trying not to take the color off the eye or end up with See, I touched the inside with that liquid shadow and it's sitting there, becoming the bane of my existence. Next, we're going to put on a lid color. We're going to use the number 4 alter ego. So I think I am doing the look that I did before, which is strangely turning out like the Charlotte Tilbury look in that Tom Ford Cherry Smoke. So we're going to use Equinox, which is the most interesting color in the palette. I think it's the one people were having an issue with, like it was crumbling or coming broken or something from shipping. So that's Equinox. And we're going to put that over where we put that hot lava shadow from, liquid shadow from Lancome. So we use that as a base. And the color is kind of like peeking through a little bit. I will say, this is a little bit messier than it was when I initially used it. Because you can see the color, but it's like, it's there, but not there. But that hot lava is really poking out this time. It's like, I will not be usurped. So there you go again. I'm gonna, yes, I'm tugging at the eye a little bit just to smooth it out, to get a smoother application than I did on the other side. So I think that's what the issue is. And we're going at a half, like a moon semicircle to follow the contour of the lid where it folds. I'm going to get some more on there for the opposite side and do the same. And I also should clean up the way the lid looks. You know, wipe that off. We're going to take this brush, which is the number 1 again, and I wiped off, no product. We're going to go through and blend it out the edges because we don't want any harsh edges on the look. If we can help it. If we can help it. So yeah. Now the next thing I did, I remember, is I went in with the number 8 brush and I went in with Ember on the outer edge to give it a little bit more depth. Now that's, as you can see, it's, I don't want to say it's crumbly, but it is, you can definitely see the color on the lid, on the brush. So we're just putting that on the outer edge here. If you can see that, to give it more of a gradient effect. And the kick up is real with that one. Where'd it go? Okay, do that on the other edge here. This on that outer V. Okay. Next, we're going to dry again, since it wants water. Okay. Now we're going to go in with the number, the brush is just a number 6 Ultra Ego. Look how that got that. That freaking microfiber top. Look at that ember. You can see, so that must be one of them creamy colors. We're going to go in with Bark at the top row. Bark. And that's going to anchor and give us some real depth on the end, outer V there. Okay. And we're going to go at an angle and another angle into the top edge of the original color of brick. And we're gonna, there we go. We're gonna put that so it's more of a sharp V for me. I have almond, I think it's They're almond-shaped eyes, and that kind of really helps my situation a lot with the angle of my eye. So we did that. Let's do the other side. That's kicking up some powder. And again, we're going to take the edge and go along that edge here. And then sweep it against the edge of the first color. Not too much, but we want to keep that angle into a V and elongate it as much as you would like. Now I think the so you see how dark that is? I think the items that I used to dupe this particular palette was the Heat palette from Urban Decay, Too Faced Sweet Peach, and a Posner quad from way back in the day, and another palette that escapes me now, but it was like a post. It wasn't like a short or anything, so there's nothing I can link to the video in case, since it is limited edition and you can't buy it off the site, you might not want to pay those extravagant prices on eBay or Mercari, depending upon who's selling it. And it was few and far between selling it at reasonable prices. So this is the look, the eye look. I think I also went in with, I went in with another color. It is called Floss with the number 7. Number 7. And this is Floss. Right here on the edge in the middle. The last one in the middle. Now, what I'm going to do that I didn't do at that time is I am going to keep the color under the brow arch toward the edge. I'm not coming all the way over because I realize I don't really care for that. And there we go. It's Floss. We're going to keep that there. Okay. And do the other side as well. Other side. Okay. I'm getting all these little pop-ups that I hope aren't visible in the video. Oh my goodness. I'm using my phone, so all these little text messages are popping up. I don't think they're gonna show up, but wouldn't that be crazy? Another video I couldn't use because it's like bank information. See how that little microfiber towel, man. I bought them to it was like a set of 12. I think I got them off of Amazon. And microfiber, different colored towels, just to add to my existing face towels because I didn't feel like washing as much. And nobody really likes them because they don't hold water well. And then as you're using it, it kind of skips and tugs a little bit. But as a freaking makeup brush cleaner, that sucker is awesome. So this is the look here. I think I need to go back in. This video is turned into something that I was not anticipating. I'm going to go back in with this number 4 because you can really see that line there. I want to try to soften that a little bit. So there we go. So it's not so prevalent. A little bit more seamless than it had been looking. Wipe it off. We're done with the Bloom palette from Natashadenona. Limited edition. Had I known that, well, I'm kind of glad I waited to buy it because I got it definitely at a discount. A definite discount in paying, I think it would have been, what, $69? And I definitely didn't pay that. But people were trying to sell this sucker for $200. I'm like, ooh, wee. It's pretty. It ain't that pretty. Now, what I did last time is I tried to use, let me pull this little thing here. I tried to use the eye. I'm going to use the eyeliner. I just like it better when my eyes are lined, especially with colors like this, because there's no, good gosh, boundary, so to speak, between the lash line and the color, the eye colors. 1 second, brush fell. Gotta drop something. Right. So, what is it? Okay. So, I initially brought out this. This is from Avon. This is the Hydro Liner Liquid Gel Eye Pencil in Ice Cappuccino. You're probably not going to see that because it's gold writing. But this was made in 1997. Should have been the first clue. When I initially tried to apply this to my lash line, no color deposited. However, clearly, you can see that. But it won't apply to the lash line. And I'm not sure if that's because the shadow won't let it adhere or what. But what I did this time is I brought out an oldie but goodie. This is the Maybelline Curvitude Liner. And as you can see, it's at a bent and a little angle. And as you remember, they do have some eyeliner brushes that look like this. Of course, it's longer and has a little tip on it, very fine tip. And it's bent at an angle, and that's to help you line the lash and wing it out. But this is already done for you. So I love this. This is my favorite liner. I'm not sure if they still make it, but I believe I hope I got a backup. And it's black, and it's affordable. So, and it really helps you get that wing, okay? So let's do this, because I could not get a line. Last time, it was not my friend. Okay, that's not. And I haven't used this in a minute, but it's very easy to use. You can make it as thick or thin as you like. I'm making a mess. But it is not the liner fault. It's me. So, and what happens on this side is I end up going from the line, the wing, to the inside, because and you can do that on the opposite side, because I can't see. And this, I've had this quite a while, and it is just as rich and opaque as it was when I initially opened it. Low, so many, probably over a couple of years now. Now this line is much better, because I can really see what the hell I'm doing. I'm getting closer to the little lash line there, so you don't see no peekaboos. Look, that's just awesome. I'm going to clean this side up because I am, yeah. And you twist it, it doesn't, so it's definitely secure on there. Keeps it nice and ready for you to use. And I'm going to clean that up because I did it a little faster than I anticipated. But look, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up because I dragged it down a little bit. So in order to clean it up a little bit, I am going to take that Shape Tape powder and a brush. Why are you out of there? Okay, no, I don't want to use that. I want to use my concealer brush because it's at an angle, if I can find it, of course. Oh my goodness. This is another reason why my videos are so freaking long. Not being organized completely. Are you kidding? This is just not working. Fine. I'm going to take this brush. This is reminds me of an IT brush from IT Cosmetics. And the brand eludes me. Maybe it's Real Perfection. But if you know, you know. IT brush looks like that. I'm going to take that Shape Tape powder. I'm going to take the end, which is what you're supposed to use for the concealer. And I'm going to just sweep it up under there to give it a better line. To define that line a little bit better. Another issue is the fact that, can you see that? My eye has been watering, so it's coming up. I'm going to do it to the other side just to keep everything the continuity. Okay. And I'm going to do this under the eye because this is like watering way more than it did upon the initial video I did of this. Now, next we're going to do a mascara. Now, the mascara I used initially is not the mascara I'm going to use today. Why, you might ask? Because I didn't really care for the mascara I used in the other video, but I didn't have another one out here with me, so I went with it. I initially used the Lancome Lash Idol Flutter Extension, and it's okay. It's okay. Let me show you the wand. It's really narrow and thin, which is good for getting at the base of the lash and the inner of the lash and the outer to flare it. But I prefer a what do you call it? A bristle brush. And I also use that by itself on one eye, and then I use the Cils Booster XL from Lancome on the other side as a lash primer for that. So I'm gonna do that for this particular mascara, which is from LYS, never used. Got this off of the Ipsy Drop Shop. This is in the shade Influential, which is black. And this sucker's looking like it's at it. Okay, Influential, which is the black. And this is called the Lash Confidence Curl Length Volume Clean Mascara. I had this a while, never used it. And like I said, I got off the Ipsy Drop Shop. So this was probably maybe $5 at most. I'm not sure what the regular retail price is. You know, LYS has the traditional triangular packaging. It's very smooth. Seems like your hands were greasy or something slick. This sucker flies your hand. But it's called Lash Confidence, if you can see that. And I think this is a bristle brush. So we're on the right eye, we're going to just use it. And then on the left eye, we're going to use the Cils Booster Plus the mascara. Very first time using it. Hopefully it's not dried out because I've had it a minute. It's a curved brush. I didn't remember that. No real scent. It doesn't really like anything's on the brush. But like I said, it's brand spanking new. Let's get to it. And again, I prefer a wet formula. And this does not appear to be that. So for those that have been on the fence or did not know that LYS had a mascara and you prefer a drier formula, this is for you. Now I'm going back in and moving it around in there, which you're not supposed to do, So I'm trying to get some, making sure that the brush is being coated with the mascara. So I'm doing my traditional comb through over the top, hitting the tips, and flaring it out on the sides. So yeah, this scene, yeah. And then another thing is this cap here is so bulky, thick that it doesn't feel really nice in my hand for application. It feels too big or something. So yeah, so again, I've had this for a minute, so I'm not sure if the formula is dry itself or it got dry over time, but I've got it and I've put it up. I never even opened this sucker. I mean, I looked at it, but I didn't even open it. And it says that it's a curved brush to be a goodbye lash curler. Hello, confidently curled lashes. I guess that's what the brush is supposed to do. And it has like avocado oil in it, arginine, crocus sativus, flower extract, which is saffron, and date fruit extract. And it's a triple action precision mascara. So let's use our Seals Booster on the opposite side. See how you can see that it's coated, the brush. It is a bristle brush. And it is a wetter formula. We're going to go in the way I would apply regular mascara. Over the top, comb through, hit the tips, and then use the end of the brush, the very end of the brush, to flare out the end of the lash line, of the actual lashes there. Okay, we've done that. And we're going to take that same mascara. It seems to be on the brush a little bit better now. And we're going to apply that. So you want to make sure that you apply it so that you get rid of that white, so you don't see the primer. And again, anything that you get on your face or your lids, let it dry completely. Get you a brow spoolie or a lash spoolie, and then you can just use the spoolie to flake off the mascara where it is that you don't want it to be on your lid, or say you touch the bridge of your nose with the brush end or something like that. Okay, so I will say that I do believe the last primer makes it look a little bit better. So this is going to give you, it's going to coat the lash, give you a little bit of drama. And had I not had this thicker line, you probably would see the lash tips a little bit better. But I think with that primer, it's marrying well together and giving it just a tad bit more drama than on the other side. Now that was still like one coat, so we're gonna go back over a little bit. I really like to hit those tips, so I will say that. And then bring it out with the edge to flare it a little bit. Okay. All right, so decent, not my favorite mascara, but it's decent. Do I have a favorite mascara? I use basically with like almost anything Maybelline. Although that last Maybelline I used is not that it's not good, but it's a drier formula. And I think Maybelline mascaras on the whole are a little wet. So that being a more dry formula is not necessarily my vibe. Next, now it's time to get these brows in order. Now the last time, what did I use? I think I used this Lady Gaga House Labs brow pencil in medium round. And it's okay. I mean, it's nothing I'm going to run out and get. It's called the Edge Precision Brow Pencil. So this came, no, I bought this off Ipsy. So again, like I paid like no more than probably under $5 for this because, yeah, I think it's like retails for like 20 something. But yeah, it's a decent brow pencil, but it's nothing to go gaga over. This does have a spoolie on it. So what I'm gonna do, I think I touched my lid or something with that mascara. So I'm gonna use the spoolie now that the mascara has dried, and just remove it. It's gonna flake off, and then you shouldn't have to like go back over anything because it'll just flake off. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah. Also, I got that little dip off that what you call that thing I did? The liquid eyeshadow. I got that little piece off of there. So this is the tip. One of the little micro tips. I guess I need to fan up my brows a little bit. Now I will say that LYS, I think I like the LYS call it a brow pencil better, and the spoolie was much more softer than this one. This is a little scratchy. Well, not scratchy, but it's stiffer. And the spoolie on the LYS was softer. And it seemed to really get, for some reason, it being softer, it seemed to really get into the hairs and spread them out. So we're going to use this. And this, again, is medium round. So you can only get what they have available. And sometimes they don't have definitely all the shades available from a brand, especially since it's this discount. So I typically go, like I said before, dark brown. And with that LYS I used recently, that was a soft black. And I found that I really enjoyed that. I thought it would be a little too harsh, a little too dark, but it worked out. So this is okay. It's not really depositing the color as good as that LYS did, considering it's Lady Gaga's brand, and definitely a higher price point. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't pay $20-something for this. Definitely glad I didn't pay $20-something for this. It's just okay. It'll get the job done. How about that? But yeah, I feel like I'm advancing the pencil a lot because I'm trying not to use too much product, but I wanted to, you know, I wanted to okay. And what I'm going to do is only well enough alone because I think it's trying to get away from me. Anybody that does their brows, no, the more you mess with it, the more it gets away from you. And I think in my last video, one of my last videos rather, we were talking about frenemies and BFS and twins and sisters and distant cousins. These are definitely frenemies. Definitely a frenemy. I just don't want to mess with it too much. Yeah, I wouldn't buy this again. Even if it was on sale. I wouldn't get the House Labs thing again. I do have also from Benefit, who's a great brow product brand, the Precisely My Brow Wax. I got this, not this, but I had a miniature sample of this. This is in 5 warm black brown. And I went online to QVC and they had like a duo. Can't remember how much it was, but I got the duo pack. And this is what it looks like. Precisely My Brow Wax. And I'm hoping that this is going to give my brows a little bit of oomph. It has a slightly curved brush, kind of like a cobra head. If you can see it, I don't know. It's like domed a little bit on the top there, and then flat on the bottom. So I'm going to put this through here to try to give it a little life. It's kind of dull. That this is like a warm brown. I don't know. Like I said, the the House Labs brow pencil is nothing to write home about. And yeah, if you find it on sale and you're looking for a brow pencil, it'll do. But you probably can go to the beauty supply store and find something comparable or better for less. So this deepened it up a little bit. Sorry that the thing is moving again. And like I said, I prefer, if I'm going to end up using a brow wax gel, that it be tinted. So this is Precisely My Brow Wax. I'm not using it for hold per se. I'm using it for the color, saturation. Woo! I don't even know how many minutes I'm in at this point. But what we're going to do now is the lips. Now, last time, did I keep that in here? I used that Avon liquid eye pencil that I showed you because I couldn't use it on, and I didn't have a lip liner, and I was determined not to constantly use molasses from Sephora. Now that is a tried and true lip pencil. It works with basically everything. I'm looking for the liner here. I know I put one in here because I'm not nuts. I don't think I'm nuts. Okay, this is not working. I could have sworn I put one in here. Let's pull it up so I can see what I'm doing. Because it is... I know I put it in here. Did I? Oh my goodness. Stuff like this be right in your face. And then you're like, where, how did I miss that? I need a little caddy in here so that I can get this. Maybe I didn't put it in here. I could have sworn I grabbed it. Okay. I don't see it. So what I'm going to do is what I was trying not to do. Is I'm going to use that Avon lippy thing again. Not the lippy, but the Avon eyeliner. That would not work as an eyeliner. I could have swore that I bought molasses in here. And it looks like I even took out the lippy that I used before that I wasn't going to use again because I didn't like how it looked. So I must have took that out because, no, here it is. I picked this up. It's from my favorite gloss brand from Revlon, about the only thing I like from Revlon. And it's the Super Lustrous Gloss called The Gloss. And as you remember, I did a video about this. My favorite color is called Indulge in It, but this is called Desert Spice. And I thought this would go pair well, but it came off like reddish. Did not work. So now, as you can see, I can really don't even feel that lip pudding thing on it, and the little thing that fell out of here. Put this back in here from whence it came. All right, so we're gonna use this to line the lip because I don't have my molasses in here. So it's transferring to the lip, but it won't transfer to the eye, which is what it was made for. So we got that. And I have gone into my lipstick vault, which is actually a drawer full of all my lipsticks. They are not separated. I had 2 drawers separated out by color. So certain colors and tones and another set of colors and tones. But then I bought another storage situation and had much deeper drawers, so I just dumped them all in there. So there's no rhyme or reason to the drawer, and I just like go through it and hope I can find something I like. This is called, now this is from Maybelline. I really don't think they make this anymore, this particular product. But this is the Wet Shine lipstick from Maybelline in number 270 Cola Slushy. So it's not going to be as bright as the Desert Spice, which is okay, and it's not going to be glossy, which is okay. I was trying to go for more of a peachy caramel situation, so we're going to go Cola Slushy. This is probably like my, and it still smells good. It doesn't smell like crayon. It's not molded or anything on it, none of that, or showing any signs of being rancid or not working. But we're going to use this. It's called a Wet Shine. Okay. Much better, and it feels the same. It's moisturizing, and it feels the same as the way it did when I initially purchased it. We're gonna follow all this up with the Ulta Beauty Dewy Makeup Setting Spray. They probably still make this, but I ain't been at Ulta in ages. And every time I think about going into Ulta, I remind myself that I have my own mini Ulta at my house. So I'm going to use this. This is the second time I'm going to use it. The first time was in the original video. I'm going to shake it up. This Mr. sucks. Not like the What It Do from Fenty. Now that Mr. there, gold, classic. This sucker here, it'll suck your face. Let's see. Can you see that? Has a coconutty smell. If you don't like coconutty smells, then don't do it. It's fake, but it's there. Close your face. Not close your eyes. And see how far back? It's like an onslaught of wetness. I am done. OMG. Now, I'm going to turn off the lights so that you can get a better idea of what the look looks like. It's not competing with the lighting, not washing it out. Could definitely use a little bit more blush, but you can see it. I know that this is probably more than blush than most people would want to wear anyway. But to me, you can always have a little bit more. A little bit more blush. And this is going to end this look. And I am right around the same time frame as I was in the initial video that I did not get to post because it came corrupted for whatever reason. Thank you for suggesting that I use the Bloom palette. Dion, appreciate it. I'll see you in tonight's live because she usually posts Monday, Tuesday, Thursday lives. Sometimes she'll switch it around. So last night she didn't have the live.